Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how base form Goku's Kaioken attack works, because it's actually about the most convoluted super in the game, you know? Most people in this game, you know, you do your super and you're done, it's over with, right? Not so much the Kaioken attack. Kaioken attack comes in a lot of different layers, so say we just did it by itself, right? Here it is, that's it. Not too impressive, right? So what I'm going to do in this video is just walk you through all the multiple layers. Now before anything else in this video, I do want to show you, while you're trying to practice this move here, there is a Kaioken setting here in the character settings tab in training mode, and you can set it to normal, always times 3 Kaioken, or always times 20 Kaioken. So normal means you have 2 teammates alive, because this move is powered up by having less teammates. You will always have a times 3 Kaioken if one of your teammates has fallen, and you'll always have a times 20 Kaioken if both your teammates are fallen and Goku is the sole character surviving. So just so you know, so once again right here in the character settings if you want to mess around with it. So now let's first talk about the moves that you can do from the Kaioken. So every button is usable. If you do absolutely nothing, it'll always start with the light attack version of the move, which is kind of the straightforward punch. So we do have that. And just so you know as well, you can actually cancel the opening with anything you want. So we're now going to use the down light version of the move. So normally we start with the light, and that's the down light version. The down light version, the little spin, is an overhead, so that must be blocked standing. The regular light version is kind of just the fastest version of the punch, and the down light version is the overhead you see here. Now, when you're chaining these together, and we're going to talk more about this later on too, when you're chaining these together, if I just mash on the light button, right? I'm just going to grind on the light button here. It's always going to give me them in sequential order. I'll always start with the standing version, always move to the crouching, and just rotate vice versa forever. So when we have Kaioken time 20, and now I'm just mashing light, and we'll talk more about the difference about that in a little bit. You see here, it just keeps alternating. I'm doing nothing but mashing light. So now moving onwards here, the M attack button here, what it does is it switches sides. Now, it won't switch sides from full screen, just so you know, but one very important thing about this is it will switch sides from the corner, meaning it will steal the corner, so it can cross up. That is actually kind of a big deal. So there is no cross-up protection here against the Kaioken when you're using the medium button to flip over. Now, down and M is just straight up a low. So now from here, we have both an overhead, a low, and a cross-up. And not to be shortchanged here, because we also have a throw. That is a straight up grab. That is not blockable. You got to get out of the way of that. You got to homing dash, jump, whatever, you know, just not be in the way, because that is a true grab and it will go through your block. So now we have an overhead, a low, a way to steal the corner for a cross up, and a grab. So it's a little bit of a mix-up machine a little bit. The S button, the key blast button, that will be a giant full screen key blast. That's basically instant. And if you hook the down S version here is an upwards version of that. So we have a version for standing and crouching for light, medium, and the special key blast button. Heavy is always going to be the grab no matter what. It doesn't matter if I hit down or not. The heavy is always just going to be the chuck backwards there. So yeah, so now as you can tell here, we have any option we can choose from, and you are allowed to mix and match any one of these options. So I can go from light to medium to heavy. Like here, this particular combination, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit medium and then into the key blast into another medium. As you can see there. So we took the corner, switched out, went back in. So that is an option available to us. Now let's just talk about the different Kaioken versions here, because as always we got the 3 different kinds. So what do they mean? You are allowed 3 reps of whatever you so choose before you can go into your ender. And what is your ender? Your ender is R1 or the light and medium buttons together, and then we'll go there. So what we'll do, we'll just mash on the light for 3 hits, and then we'll go into the ender. And here's our ender, and the dive is our ender for that. So 6 hits total, but we're allowed 3 choices. So if you go into times 3 Kaioken, you're allowed 5 choices before the ender. And then we can go into our ender here. And if you are into times 20 Kaioken, you are allowed 7 decisions before you go into your ender. So once again, we're just going to mash light. So once we hit 7, Then we go into our ender. And also available to only ×3 and ×20, not the normal. We can choose a different ender. So we can actually go for a Kamehameha attack, and that is done with the R2 or heavy plus special button. So once again, you can go for however many hits we have. So we're going to choose ×3, so we're allowed 5 right now. So we'll do 5 hits. We hit our 5th hit, and we hit R2, and we go right into it. So in that particular version here, we just kind of went right for the grounded Kamehameha, shooting upwards. But you are also allowed to use your R1 ender to launch up and then go into it, as shown here. So we launch them up, and we do that as well. So we can just get 1 extra hit in there. And much the same here for ×20 Kaioken. So we'll just go for our maximum 7 hits. So we'll do the R1 here at the end of 7 just to launch them up. And then we can get another Kamehameha ender. Now this is actually a true heart knockdown. But due to the positioning, you can't really do much about it. And you might have noticed already, if you're astute, the Kamehameha, no matter if it's level 3 or not, the Kamehameha will actually always take a second bar. So please keep that in mind for your bar here. The Kamehameha, while much more damaging than the dive bomb ender, will always take a second bar. So this 1 bar move will become a 2 bar move in essence. And the final thing to mention here is, firstly, all the attacks do not do the same damage. The light and medium attacks, no matter what they are, be it standing, crouching versions, it will always do 700 damage, subject to scaling, of course. The S, the key blast button here, will always do 800, and the grab, the heavy, will always do 900. Now, also, there is a staling, not scaling, staling effect, meaning if you keep doing the same move over and over and over, you're not going to do as much damage. So here, we'll just set it for ×20 Kaioken, just for maximum show-offness here. And we're going to show our damage info. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to mash light till the ender. So total combo damage is 3,453. So now we're just going to mix it up a little bit. So same combo basically in the end. And hey, once you know it, all I did is I just added 1 little rep of the mediums in there. Even though they do the same basic damage, if I did them raw, like once again here, here's just light, nothing else, 700, and here's the medium, nothing else. Once again, 700. But since I varied it up a little bit, the combo will do more damage overall. So invent your own routes, you know, there's a bunch of possibilities to be sure, right? Invent your own routes, but don't just do the same thing because you're giving up basically free damage. And the final thing to mention about the Kaioken attack is you can actually make an invincible startup. Well, how, you might ask? So like something like this here, hey, what's going to happen? Oh, I just get smacked. So how do I make it invincible? So once again, remember at the beginning of the video how I told you you can always choose what the start of the move is. So it could be the overhead, it could be the low, it could be whatever you want it to be, right? So if you choose to go right into the ender right away, your R1 ender right away, it will make the move invincible, as that move is invincible. So once again, same setup here. And I'm just going to go right through it. Boom, no big deal. I go right through it all the way to the end. And much the same here. If I do the R2 version, well, not only am I invincible, I move backwards, but I'll just blast everything along the way, destroying everything, right? So one more time, when you're doing the Kaioken, if you do the R1 version of your starter, the starter will be invincible. And this is level 1, 2, or 3, doesn't matter which level it is. The starter will always be invincible. So anyways, that's this video. It's a very complex mechanic to be sure. It took me quite a while to understand it, really. So if I had some troubles, I bet, you know, I ain't the best in the world, right? But if I had some troubles, I bet some of you guys had troubles, right? So I hope this helped here. It's a very complex move. It's really good, you know, like, it's very complicated, you know, but, you know, this character being this character, right? Complicated's the name of the game because he's got some non-standard moves to say the least, right? But anyways, that is this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.